everybody, how's it going? Alright, so for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, I've we've had temperatures in the lower 50s to even into the 60s at night. And then out of the blue, for the past 2 nights, we got temperatures at night falling down into the 30s. One time it was almost 32 degrees. I don't have any cloths to cover my plants with in my garden to protect them from frost, but there's a trick that I used once before many years ago. I didn't have the money for any kind of cloth to cover my plants. What I did was I took a bunch of dry leaves and I mounded up around the base of the plant to give support, and then I covered over on top of the plant. And at the time that seemed to do really well to protect the plants from any kind of frost, just for a night or two, and then I would uncover it as soon as the danger was over. Well, like I said, the last 2 nights, the temperatures got down into the 30s. One night was down around 31, 32, and I didn't have any big supply of leaves on hand. What I did have is I've got like 8 or 9 bales of mulch straw that I bought to mulch my garden with. So I figured I would try that and see how well that worked. So I took the straw, mounded up around the plants, and then I gently covered the top. And I put a good layer on there, but not enough to completely crush the plants. So I wanted to come out here. It's supposed to only get down to around 48, 49 tonight. So I figured I'd come out here and uncover my plants, check them. And it's supposed to get some storms tomorrow, so I don't want the rain hitting all this mulch and possibly crushing the plants. So I wanted to uncover them, see how they turned out, see how well they survived. And I figured I'd show you guys. So let me flip this around and show you what's going on. Alright, so this is one of my plants. And what I did, like I said, is I just covered the top of the plant. There it is. I had mounded up some of this mulch right around it like that and gently covered the top. That way this right here would prevent the plant from getting crushed. And that one looks like it came through all right. That's a pepper plant, and there might be a little bit of damage to it, but not much. It survived for the most part. That's the jalapeno pepper. Now over here I've got my 5 bell peppers, green bell peppers, so I want to uncover that and see how these did. That one turned out really well. That one survived really good. All right, let's see. I've got another one right here. That one survived. It's got even some buds right there on it. So it looked like this little trick of mine worked really well. There's 3, so I got one more here. That'll be right here. Cool. So my 4 green bell pepper plants survived. Look like they did all right. Now here you can see mounded over my tomatoes, and also all my beans that sprouted. So let's go through these and uncover these. All right, so that. Let's see. frost was a little unexpected, caught me off guard, so I wasn't really prepared to cover the plants. But hopefully they all come through this okay. Yes, the tomato looks okay. It just looks like it needs some sun and maybe a little bit of water. It'll get plenty of water tomorrow. But I don't see any major burning. It's even got a little bloom on it. All right. Got to be careful uncovering these. I don't want to rip anything loose. Yeah, I was going to mulch with all this stuff anyway, so if this worked out all right, those two turned out okay. They survived all right. Did all right. I think this worked pretty well for the most part. Looks like they might be just a couple of them might be a little wilted, probably from the weight of the straw, lack of sun, because I left them covered up yesterday. I didn't uncover them during the day because I would have to recover them that night. And maybe I should have uncovered them, let them get a little bit of sun, but it's looking like for the most part they'll be all right. They should recover fairly well. Yeah, they're a little wilted from the being covered up for like 2 days. I haven't watered them during that time because I didn't want any water to be on them during the frost, during those colder temperatures. This is actually what I was more concerned about. All of my bean sprouts, but it looks like they're okay as well. Try to be careful about doing this. I don't want to damage any of my plants, but I need to uncover them so they can get some sun and some air. And I don't want that rain making the straw real heavy and crushing the plants. Hey, looky there. Little flowers on that bean plant right there. Yeah, so these are turning out. That's one of 4 rows right here. And those made it all right. So 3 more rows of beans to uncover. The only, yeah, I mean, this was my only concern, was that I protect them from the frost. Like I said, that I knew it was going down to freezing one night, and then I'd intended to uncover them the next day. But then we got a forecast of another frost. So rather than uncovering them that day, I just left them covered up. So I kind of figured the lack of sunlight for 2 nights and a day could potentially cause some damage, but I was hoping it wouldn't be that bad. And this works out fine because, like I said, I was going to use all this for mulch anyway. And I had a little bit of mulch in between these rows of beans and tomatoes and things. But I was going to add more anyway. So it kind of works out great. Alright, those 2 rows of beans look pretty good. The last 2 rows. Yeah, I'd once before, years ago, I had planted some stuff just a little bit too early, and we got a late frost, and I only had like 3 or 4 items out at the time. I think it was like 3 or 4 tomato plants. So I had this idea, rather than try to get plastic or buckets or anything and put over it, which I didn't have at the time, but I had a ton of leaves in the backyard. I figured I would try that. So I mounted them up. Covered the plants really good. And it actually worked surprisingly well. So I'd never tried it on anything like beans before though, just tomatoes. So I wasn't quite sure how it would work, but it's looking to me like it worked just great. It's a little difficult to try to film myself doing this video at the same time as uncover these plants, but it's just a little impromptu video I figured you guys might enjoy. I'm sure other people have thought of this. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I like to anytime I do something like this, I like to try to share it with people, just in case. You never know. Cool. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, it's my 4 rows of beans. I'll be staking those out in the next couple of days. My tomatoes are looking a little bit sad, but they survived. But my peppers look good. I don't see any kind of damage on anything, just a little bit of wilting, possibly from no sun for a couple of nights and days. I didn't cover my onions, and over here, yeah, this is all that rabbit manure. I'm still in the process of spreading it and using it. I didn't cover any of my lettuce because those typically handle light frosts, cool weather fairly well. But yeah, looks like it worked pretty well. And aside from maybe a little difference in the color of the tomato plants, maybe some slight wilting, I don't see any signs of damage. It's still early. I might see some in the next day or two once the sun and water hits it. But it looked like it protected all my plants fairly well. Now I think that should be the last frost of the year. I hope it is anyway. So with all that being protected, my next step, I gotta finish staking those out because they're gonna start growing and trying to climb really quick. I need to smooth all this out, and I've got at least one potato tower that I want to start, try to grow some potatoes. I've got some okra to put out, which I'm kind of glad I haven't put it out yet. I've got some more onions, just the sets to put out. These were live onions in the Bonnie plant pots that I bought. The rest are just the sets themselves, like you get at a farm supply in the bag, just the bulbs. I want to put that out, so I've got 3 more things that I want to put out. I was thinking about trying to do some corn in a Three Sisters method right over here, possibly. Which I need to trim some of these trees right here if I want to do that. But yeah, that's it. I mean, not as much progress as I would like, but I'm getting there. And I'm really pleased with my plants surviving these 2 nights of frost. The first night had a real heavy frost. So my idea worked. I looked up, and hopefully that'll be the last frost of the year. Anyway, I've got some more videos I'm working on. I've got a long list of video ideas. My job is just keeping me super busy. And but I've got a week off. I've got some videos I want to do while on that week off. And I'll try to get those out to you guys as soon as I can. Until then, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, guys, take care. Catch you later.